great afternoon and a wonderful evening to all our friends from West. Meditation process is, as you can tell, the third day today is very easy. Welcome to everyone who's joining new. The practice that we're doing, Anapanasati, and the goal is to empty ourselves, empty our mind, or drop our body consciousness. Emptying our mind is equal to dropping an idea, the notion of everything that is material. Everything that is material, our body, our environment, our past and future, thoughts. And when we do that, when we empty our mind of all thought, then we're automatically dropping everything that is material. And when we do that, then we are non-interfering into a physical body. So we are allowing the body to function well. Where the physical body interference at that point is only if there is any external stimulation, but otherwise we are allowing the body to function naturally, because every thought is also influencing the body to function. And second, we are structurally allowing the brain to change, but more importantly, the third one, which I wanted to talk about, is this emptiness. Now, this energy field or the consciousness that we become one with. It's important to understand what does that emptiness look like, because every day we are spending a lot of time in it. Now, we may not understand it fully, what it may look like, what it may feel like, because it is infinite. Essentially, when we drop all things material, the notion of our planets, stars, our earth, our nature, our places and cities, the industries, then our homes, our communities, family, and ourselves. When we drop everything, because every thought is about these, and then as you withdraw thoughts, you're taking out one by one by one by one from your awareness. We're taking one by one. When you're taking out one by one, then we are slowly will be left with nothing around us, including ourselves, because we also, the notion of body exists with a thought. We also forget about a thought or a feeling is there. We also forget about that too in meditation, where we are removing, when we remove that thought about the body, then we're slowly forgetting that too. So we will be left with nothing. We'll be left with nobody around. There is no one there. There are no places there. Because we are dropping all our past There is no time there. We also don't even think of any of those. So we are in that state. And so that emptiness is what we are spending time every day. So the emptiness, when I say become aware of that emptiness, or when we are experiencing that emptiness, it could be what color, it could be any color that you are, whatever that emptiness means to you. It could be blackness, it could be dark, it could be violet, bluish, it could be like a sky, it could be like a sea. If for you emptiness means immediately sea is what comes to your mind as from the childhood, and if you've been living at the coastal areas and then every day you would watch in and say, wow, what is empty, everything is empty, then that's perhaps what it may come to you, or you may experience it that way. Because this is an infinite field, and there are no sun now. There's no moon there, and there are no planets there. If sun is what is giving light, so that's also not the notion of sun forgotten or sometime. So one may think that it could always be very dark, possible. But it can show up in many, many ways, because that energy, or that emptiness is now, it's all energy field. Emptiness, all energy. That emptiness can appear to us in many ways, because now from science perspective, it is an unlimited possibility. Every possibility is an experience. Every experience is nothing but a thought and a feeling. So we are observing in that emptiness. And the longer we stay in that emptiness, that's the idea, is to go away from the notion of body or material and then spend in that emptiness state. That's all. The longer we stay in that emptiness, then we are definitely changing the body, we are changing the mind, we are connecting into this energy, and we're drawing energy. With a process called when we are in the empty state, there is additional neuropeptide secreted in our brain. And so the pineal gland does become very active. And so scientific evidence is there now that, through a concept of piezoelectric effect, there are crystals in the pineal gland which are rubbing, and then they are loosening up, and then getting this antenna up. Then we go empty, and then it starts receiving that unlimited possibility of anything to anything. So the idea is that if there is an infinite intelligence, and then we are receiving, we're connecting in with an antenna. When you go into meditation and silence ourselves completely, then that chemical seems to get produced more when we deeply, deeply rest the body. Like in sleep, whenever you deeply rest, then we are slowing down our brain waves, and so automatically we are we are we are we are going into that state, because this brain seems to produce that chemical. From many, many thought to become lesser and lesser and lesser and lesser, and few to none. So in our meditation, every day when we're guiding, we take some time to settle down. Some people, depending on the practice, you take some time to settle down if you've been a regular practitioner. Or sometimes you are, even though you're a senior practitioner, it can take a long time to settle down if you are challenged with several problems that day at home or whatever. It can take. But after, as we are settling down, as we are slowly, slowly going into this, observing the breath, so the mind is becoming empty, And then suddenly that switch seems to happen at some point that we suddenly go into, we forget, and then we're in this empty state of mind. And some are consciously aware about it, some are not consciously aware. Point one, and it is absolutely okay. Some are consciously aware of that emptiness, some are not. But when we are going into the emptiness, automatically we are being with it. And so the body involuntarily works, and then so the pineal gland activation happens, and then so we're receiving the energy is happening, all that is happening. But some are consciously aware to experience that emptiness. So our guidance is going into become aware of that emptiness on your left side, right side, inside, outside, all around. And that's energy. Now that's where some feel it as energy. That energy of vibration. Yesterday somebody saying, and I was feeling some vibration. Tingling sensations or movements of the body. Any of those can happen, as I talked about yesterday in the meditation experiences. The experiences are just merely telling us in the initial state that, okay, there is something beyond body that you don't imagine something, but it's going to show up there. To feel that we are there, it is to telling us that we are receiving that energy. And then beyond a point, as you go along, the experience also tell you something more specific can. Then, or there may be that energy, that signal information that we receive, because everything that we receive is energy, is information decoded. In spiritual language, it's called Akashic records. Akashic records. We've heard this. And so these Akashic records are encoding information about all things that exist ever before and past and future, because when there is no time, past, future, everything present exists simultaneously. So it's there in the decoded, and then we are gathering those records about ourselves, about everybody. If so, it is required for us. But that's a different aspect. But the point is that we are receiving information that is very relevant to live a beautiful life. Let me put it that way. If you are an inventor, you might receive some insight. If you are trying to execute a large project and you got some challenges with the problem with this or that, it might give you some insight, a solution for the problem. If there's a relationship challenge, then it might tell you something to do specific. Go and get those flowers and give, if that's what it is. Whatever that may be, that we start developing and receiving that. So, dear friends, this emptiness, when I say become aware of that emptiness, I'm asking you to, if you are consciously aware at that point, to be able to take my guidance, then I'm asking you to then just reinforcing that there is this emptiness around. If you're not consciously aware, you don't have to bother about that. No, I couldn't follow the guidance, not required. Now you are in a trance state. There is a state that happens where someone is in trance, where you vaguely hear me, you vaguely hear the music, vaguely hear my guidance, but you don't know what I'm speaking. You don't have to pull yourself back to listen to my guidance. It's not necessary. My guidance and the music are secondary beyond a point. You observe your breath, and slowly you empty yourself, is happening automatically. As emptying, then you're going into this emptiness. Sometimes you're consciously aware, connected. Sometimes you're not. When you're consciously aware, the guidance tends to take you a little more deeper. And there is a third step, those who are consciously not aware, no problem, be there. If you are somewhere half here, half there, don't pull yourself back. The moment you feel you are in this some weird, vague state of, things are happening around you, but you also don't know about yourself, that means it's the right state. You are in this empty state. So be in that state. And in case you are fully thoughts, then anyway, my guidance is sort of reminding you to come back and observe the breath, right? It is not necessary, it's not important to always follow the guidance. I want to make sure you understand this. And when you are in a state of emptiness, where I just explained, so you try to be into that state. Now, if slowly, after some time, people get thoughts. When you get thoughts, then bring back our attention to the breath again. All right, friends. So we'll do meditation once again. We're doing breath mindfulness meditation, anapanasati, to empty our mind. And to go into it, we're doing a process called heart elevation for a few minutes, and then we go into this anapanasati, or observing our breath. So heart elevation, I'll come back. You can just follow my guidance and then click on the anapanasati slide. So anybody new, click on anapanasati, please. Anybody new? This is a posture. You sit down on the chair or on the floor, very, very comfortably, legs crossed, fingers into fingers, eyes closed. Remove the specs. Remove the specs. And then observe your natural breath. In the middle of the eyebrows, take that as a reference point, and then observe that natural, normal breath. You don't forcefully inhale or exhale. Just observe your breath. And when you observe your breath, mind becomes empty. In case you have thoughts, bring your attention back to the breath and then observe again. And as a newcomer, please go back and listen into day 1 and day 2 videos to understand this process much more. Yes, so let's go into meditation once again, dear friends. Relax yourself, sit comfortably with your eyes closed. Legs crossed. Dear friends, dear masters, keep your hands on your chest area with your eyes closed, specs removed. Rest your attention on your breath and on your heart. Take a slow, long, relaxing breath. And can you feel your sacred heart? With your attention on your heart, with that slow, long, relaxing breath, feel your beautiful heart, the beat, the rhythm of your heart. Connect with it. Feel that center of emotions, which is nurturing all life with its love, joy, gratitude, compassion. With a greater love for life. Feel your beautiful heart, dear friends, which is always there for you. And can you recollect an event, an experience from your life where you felt enormous love, joy, gratitude, appreciation, and relive that moment and elevate yourself? relive that moment and feel that energy of love, of joy inside your beautiful heart. The more we experience love, joy, appreciation, dear friends, the more we become one with all things and everybody. The more we become coherent with this energy field, we are deeply interconnected with each other. Deep inside, we are specks of energy, intricately connected in this quantum entanglement. Feel that love, that joy, that gratitude. And allow yourself to direct that energy to heal you deeply. Where your attention goes, there the energy flows. And slowly, dear friends, let's go into breath mindfulness meditation. With your fingers into fingers, placing your hands comfortably in your lap, with your eyes closed, observe your normal, natural in-breath and the out-breath. In this meditation, we observe our normal, natural in-breath and the out-breath for the whole duration, with our eyes closed. When we observe our breath, our mind becomes empty. As your mind becomes empty, we experience that greater emptiness, that energy all around. When you experience this emptiness or energy, be a witness and be with it. Be with your breath. Become one with that in breath and the out breath, and allow yourself to slowly become empty of all thoughts in your mind. Observe any sensations in your body. Can you sense energy in any part of your body, all around your body? When our mind is empty, we channelize all that energy into the generous present moment. And our body functions most naturally, develops greater immunity, intelligence, with your eyes closed, observe your natural, normal in-breath and the out-breath, and allow yourself to become totally empty of all thoughts in your mind. Become aware of the emptiness inside of you, all around you, as you merge into your breath. Allow yourself to merge into your breath and allow yourself to become totally empty of all thoughts. As your mind is empty, become aware of that emptiness inside of you, all around you. Become aware of that emptiness where there's no body, where there's no thing, no place, and no time. Allow yourself to merge into that emptiness, that blackness, that void of no body, of no thing. That's energy. All emptiness is energy. This is the intelligent, unlimited quantum energy field. The longer you stay connected to this field, the more you become of it and the more you receive from it. If you find yourself distracted in thought, gently go back to observing your breath and slowly become empty. The longer we stay connected to this field, the more open we become, the more creative we become. Allow yourself to stay connected to this emptiness, that void, that energy. Go deeper and deeper into yourself. This is your divine self. This is that quantum consciousness. Friends, let's express gratitude. It's an honor and privilege to be experiencing this life at this time of history. Express your gratitude to all things and everybody, to your parents, to your teachers, to your mentors, to all the people in your life, your family, friends, colleagues, and everybody. And be thankful to this nature, the bird, the fish, and the animals. And deep gratitude to all the things you use, the technology, the places you visit, your systems. And be grateful to yourself and to this quantum field, to this universe. Relax your body, feel your body, and let your autonomous nervous system repair your body as you relax. As you relax, recollect your experiences from the session. How did you feel? What have you experienced? What did you see? And whenever you're ready, you can place your hands over your eyes for 5 seconds. And then you may open your eyes. Okay, the friends. Hope you enjoyed the session. So I'd like to cover a couple of concepts that what meditation is doing to our brain. One of the biggest things that it's doing is it's structurally changing the brain, but it's some things are happening on there. So let's understand these concepts. Over the period, we're going to understand what's doing to our body. Next week is all about body and a little bit of the mind. And then of course, then later on we'll understand this whole energy field consciousness. It's about body, it's about mind, and then it's consciousness. We understand all these three deeply during the 6 week process of how it is either changing or how it's making us benefit from these three things significantly, right? So let me share this slide. So I want you to pay attention to the left side of the picture, which is in a glacier, right? So this glacier is representing, there is a portion that is seen portion of the glacier, there's an unseen portion that is below the water. Now mind, if you consider divided to two parts, conscious and subconscious. Now subconscious, I've used a word below that, unconscious mind included. So you actually divide mind into conscious, subconscious, unconscious, and you can go on dividing into many layers as you go deeper in study of this. But for a moment, simplicity, there is conscious and there's subconscious. And in between, there is a barrier, and that is this analytical mind, which is like acting like a barrier between conscious and subconscious. Now, what is conscious mind? Conscious mind is that seen portion, which we are using only 10% of it. The subconscious, we're using 90% of it. It is the big portion of our daily activity is 90% is driven through the subconscious mind. Whereas the conscious mind, which is we're utilizing about 10%. Now, the conscious mind is responsible for logic or abstraction, short-term memories, your willpower, learning, decision making, your visualization, reasoning, practically everything that you're trying to do or anything bring a new change that bringing in is trying to be done through this conscious mind. We're learning a language, it is here. If we're reading a book, it's here. It has to support you. Now, what this is saying is that we are utilizing a small, our conscious mind, much bigger in the size of the brain, but we're utilizing a small capacity of it. Whereas subconscious, much smaller in the size of the brain, but utilizing more of it. Now, subconscious, which is bottom side, where you have this routine thoughts, routine feelings, our behaviors, our attitudes, our beliefs, our habits, the perceptions of people and places and things. And they're all there in the subconscious, that it is driven through here. Everything all of those are stored here. And also that the more deeper you go into the layers, which is where you're getting into the unconscious, which is the protective reactions, the automatic involuntary functions of the body, right? Your body is your heart is beating, your blood circulation, all of that is in the subconscious. And you go into this, deeper layers, which is also called the reptile brain or the unconscious mind. Now, all of this under the subconscious mind. Now, 90% we're operating through this. Our daily activities are driven 90% or more of what is there in the subconscious mind, because that is like the chitta. If the chitta is the bed of the seabed, and then all of the subconscious thoughts, behaviors, feelings, they're all are always projecting and then causing various disturbances or various thoughts into your conscious mind. So primarily, many times what you have thinking in the conscious mind is predominantly driven through the subconscious deep memories and feelings, or your behaviors, or your beliefs that you formed for yourself. On one side, we hear a lecture and say, hey, I've got to do something about this meditation. They're saying so many things. But another side, there is a subconscious, very next moment, it is distracting you, and it is automatically pulling your attention away from this meditative thought into that firefighting you have to do today in office, because that's been there living in your mind for some time now. Or that house repair, or whatever, there is leak happening and there's a lot of pressure from home. People are telling come on, you're not attentive to this, because you're seeing it again and again and it is there. And so that is distracting you, and you go and think about it. Or your health issue, which is causing you to go and then think about more of that, even though you're thinking, I got to do something about meditation, I got to put it into more of my practice. We're inspired to do things, but then at the same time, the subconscious beliefs, subconscious programs are constantly distracting us and then not letting us focus and concentrate on one thing. And where your attention goes, there the energy flows. And so if you have spent most of the time on things that are not necessary, about that firefighting that you have to do in an office, or about a grieving event, whatever that is, and then where your attention goes, the energy flows. So naturally, you are creating more of those events into your life based on what is there in your subconscious mind. They call your subconscious programs. Primarily, a lot of it is driven through your beliefs and perceptions, the beliefs that you form for yourself. And so this idea of meditation is to go and then slowly deprogram the subconscious, and then reprogram with something very, very useful to you. And how is this doing? Meditation is as it's emptying, as you empty your mind slowly and slowly, this analytical mind layer, which is always wanting to analyze things. It is not letting you believe easily. So analytical mind is like a barrier. And some people have a thick analytical mind, some have a very thin analytical mind. That means they're ready to receive, they're ready to accept things before wanting to see it physically as a proof. Some people are stuck and saying, unless I see proof, I can't go forward. But some people are saying, let me take that as a thesis and let me work with it, experiment it, and see for myself. And so this analytical mind, which is constantly wanting to see and prove, is wanting to analyze with what you know from the past. And that's acting as a barrier to trying to analyze as opposed to see the essence of it. Right? And so meditation, as you empty your mind regularly, it is dropping that barrier. It is making the barrier with thin and thin and thin and thin. This analytical mind does not exist for a child. Somebody who is below 5-6 years, before the condition, that does not exist. The only reason it's developed quite a bit is because we are conditioning them, right? If you don't condition them, it is gradually developed, but it does not exist. So child, whatever you say, they take it. You say you are stupid, they take it and say, okay, I'm stupid. But if for an adult you say you're stupid, then they are going and then doing all kinds of things, right? Before, and say, how can they call me stupid? What did I do wrong? They go back and analyze things. But a child just readily takes it. Okay, stupid. They'll ask you, what is stupidity? And they take it because they directly it goes into your subconscious. Now, if it is a good thing, then they're going to take the good thing. If you say a bad thing or not so good thing for them, then they still take that, right? And so what is there in the subconscious is what is constantly projecting. And that is what is called your inner chatter. Your inner chatter is coming from the subconscious. I'm not good. My health is not good. I'm not able to do it. Or some people who are saying, hey, I can do anything. I'm absolutely can. I know I can do it. Some have that kind of feeling. And they are there with that thought process, they're absolutely going forward, right? So meditation, first thing is doing is dropping that analytical and then slowly helping to reprogram subconscious. We got to go on it and do it for some time. That analytical mind, in order to soften it, it takes some time. And then to deprogram the subconscious takes some time. What is that time? It takes at least 3 weeks to reprogram many of those things that are out there. At least 3 weeks. And then 6 weeks is a great amount of time to be there. Now, the second thing that's happening in meditation, I want to talk about this is, before we close the session for today, is this. Now, if we go a little deeper, what is there in this conscious mind, right? And then there is scientifically, they're measured. Every thought has got a frequency, brain waves they call it, right? The thoughts have frequency, and the frequency is determining what kind of thought it is. So the frequency is ranging at a very normal level, in a very stressful mode, it's called high beta frequency. That means you have several thoughts with high beta frequency, where we are very highly alert. You got this stressful thinking. You're constantly worried, you're constantly anxious, you're constantly frustrated. That is the state. This is the time your heart is also not coherently working. Right? This is the state. So the brain waves are in a high beta state. And the first thing in meditation is doing is it's dropping those, it's immediately dropping, it's giving, where your attention goes, energy flows. So when you don't put your attention onto thought, then these thoughts don't flare up. Otherwise, there's more energy to them. So first thing meditation is doing is to drop these high beta waves from the conscious mind. The conscious mind, the waves are weak. Subconscious mind, they're very strong. They're like deep programs, long-term memory. They've been repeated over and over. It takes more time to reprogram subconscious. Conscious is this mano, chitta, buddhi, hankara. Four are there. Conscious is like manasu is a whole bunch of derived thoughts coming out of the subconscious. So all these derived thoughts are weak. They start falling off pretty quickly. And the second is the beta waves that focused attention, active, awake. So where right now you're actually listening to me. When we are reading a book, we are actively there. When you're doing some work, whatever work you're doing is that active, awake state, focused attention. We want to be in this state and as much as possible in your day-to-day lives, because then you can get many things done. So that is the second set of waves. In meditation, we are dropping that too, right? So in meditation, you're going down into lowering the frequency, where you slightly, ultimately emptying yourself, right? So the beta waves, when you're doing active work, you go into this beta wave. When you're not doing any active work, we should be going down into the alpha, theta, delta, drop ourselves into those states. But instead, when we don't do any work, we are in this high beta state. In fact, because we are in this stressful state, in order to go away from stress, we try to do many things. We try to keep ourselves busy. Some people who are in the stress, to keep themselves busy, constantly eat something. Obesity is the reason, one of the reasons. We don't pay attention. We have these cravings, and then it becomes, body gets so used to it, and then you get used to this craving. And with meditation, we can break that pattern. So as you regularly meditate, then your thought frequencies, those frequent thoughts which have a higher frequency are going away, and thoughts with a low frequency stay. So alpha state, we drop pretty quickly. As soon as you close your eyes, as soon as you start observing the breath, you're dropping into the alpha states pretty quickly. And in between, again, the thoughts come, you go into the beta, high beta. Again, you're pulling yourself back into this by observing the breath into the alpha, which is positive thinking. You're fast learning. I've increased my speed reading. I've increased my reading. Earlier, I used to take, even to read, like say 50 pages. It would take me about 50 minutes. These days, I have to do 50 pages. It takes me about 10 to 12 minutes. I read quickly and I read faster. I'm able to read many books because you start scanning instead word by word. You start looking at a paragraph simultaneously. Our brain has a capacity to do an image reading. A whole page it can scan. So you can simultaneously pretty quickly look at what's the brief gist of that paragraph. It's not necessary you know it. Our words need not be fully spelled right, but the moment you know about them, consciousness, even if you have 5 mistakes in it, when you read the word, you can readily catch it and say, yes, it's consciousness, because you have the capabilities, it constructs. And so the more you meditate, you have faster learning, faster reading, synthesizing, all right? More relaxation, positivity. Then you go into theta, is in a beautiful state, very beneficial state. You start gaining insight, solutions to the problems, right? And these are these flow states. That means you forget of time and space and you are into deep concentration. And so this is where you get a lot of things done. When people who are, when you align to your purpose, and when you align to things that you really like, then you're going into this theta state. In meditation, we go into the states. When you're in a deep meditation, we are usually spending time in theta and delta states. A lot of times we're standing in theta and delta states. Delta is deep sleep or deep trance, a highly aware state in delta. Either you've gone into the deep sleep where it's very beneficial to the body, or in the delta, in the deep sleep state, they've discovered there is certain genes which is up down regulating for cancer, right? The prostate cancer and then several others are down regulating the genes in this deep sleep state or this delta state, where you are, and meditation is naturally taking us to these states. Those who go into deep sleep, that means dreamless sleep, are in this state. Meditation is also taking us right there very quickly. And so that means very beneficial. And then beyond a point, sometimes we go into the supernatural state called gamma, where we got the whole brain synchronously working and then we're getting many, many things done. We're significantly there. So sometimes it happens. But the point is, the more you meditate, and regularly do it, then our thought frequencies of having around 50 to 67 thoughts drops down. For a regular meditator or a period of time, you are generally in a less number of thoughts, and then mostly you are in this alpha state. Even in a wakeful time, you go into this alpha state. And then when you're engaging in some work, you're going into this beta, active, awake state, but otherwise you're dropping yourself back into that state. And then you are in this less number of thought states, and you're generally in this positive thinking state. Things that happen to you, but you don't take it very negatively. You're always looking for a positive aspect of what is it there in that I can learn. When things good happen, we're all good anyway. But when things not so good happen is where we go into a spiral spin. And this is where meditators are generally staying in this positive. A lot of comments, they say, I changed me completely. I'm different person now. I do things differently. I'm slowed down. I don't get panic. They're all coming because we are in this state of positive thinking and deep relaxation state mostly. Right, friends? So meditation is structurally causing us to be in the lower thought states. And then as a result, we start changing as a personality significantly. More we'll understand tomorrow and later, dear friends. Thank you very much for your time. This week is about an overview of meditation, scientifically understanding. We'll understand more on this topic on Friday again. So Fridays, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm doing a session, longer session, talking about these concepts, and the rest of the days we have other things planned. Tomorrow, we're doing this breakout room, so understand this tomorrow. Thank you all and have a wonderful day.